Hi everybody and welcome. I am so glad that you're here. Today's gonna be a really awesome video because we get to talk about why we should leave the leaves. Let them be. Why? Because number one, the leaves are the home of so many different animals. They're the home of the bees, the butterflies, the moth, the arthropods, whole bunch of fungi, beautiful, amazing bacteria, lots of little microorganisms that is helping them to create biodiversity. And hello, we need the bees in our life. If we don't have bees, we don't have anything, right? We know that the bees are super, super essential for everything in the world. So we need to protect those beautiful bees. So let them be. Just keep those beautiful leaves in there because they use the leaves as a beautiful house for them during the winter. So they make these little tiny holes on the soil in the little layer, and then they use that little layer of the leaves to actually then protect themselves. So help them. And also during the time that they're doing that cocoon or the butterflies and they're hibernate basically during the whole winter, then they're also going to be using those leaves. So help them. It's so beautiful. So you get to help the environment and help those beautiful animals to actually then survive during the winter. And not only that, but you think that little microorganism, but if we have then that food, because now you have those little animals surviving, then you can also have food now for the birds, food so also for during the winter, also then for the squirrels, whatever it is that you have then in your backyard or wherever you live, then you're also providing some food for the animals so they survive during the winter. Then number two is that you have less soil erosion. So we know that if you had the soil bare with no cover, it will dry out. You're losing moisture, you're losing the water, it's evaporating. That's why you see that there's so much soil that people waste so much water and sprinkling and the sprinkle system and blah, 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 if it doesn't rain, because the soil is evaporating and it's losing water. It happens all the time. A bare soil, not covered soil, is gonna get evaporate. It's gonna lose all the water. And at the same time, if you don't have a soil cover, then because you're not retaining the moisture and getting compact and also building on the layer of soil, then you're losing soil. As the soil erodes, then it's going to be very dry, the wind blows, and so you're losing then soil. So if you have your leaves and you have a layer, another layer, keep on going, and that is going to be decomposing, and that decomposing becomes soil. So now you have more soil and you have then that beautiful amazing luscious gold, because literally the leaves are just pure gold. That's why many people say that the leaves are gold. It's money. It's free money that you have over here. Number three is that you have a natural fertilizer. It goes along with the lesser erosion, because now as the leaf is decomposing, when the leaf decomposes, now you get all of these beautiful minerals going back again to the soil. So now you have, your free nitrogen, you have your carbon fixation back into the soil. Yes, we don't want to have free carbon going into the environment, but this is fixating into the soil. It's going now into the soil so that the trees and the plants and all the perennials that you have and whatever you have growing is going to be able then to use it as a form of nutrients. Plus all kinds of other nutrients, phosphorus that's going to be liberated as well because of the leaves. Now, not all the leaves decompose at a normal rate. There's some leaves that take longer. Look at the leaf. If it's going to be a really glossy, thick leaf, then that's going to take a long time. The next one is going to be then the number fourth, suppresses the weeds and grasses. So this is really helpful when you're doing like a garden bed, that you're doing then your beautiful little garden bed in your garden with some flowers or even vegetables or whatever fruits that you're growing, even trees. Then you want to suppress weeds growing around it. And so by just having a little tiny layer of leaves, then that's going to help you then to suppress the growth of other things that you do not want to grow in there. Now, when we're talking about this, you do not want to have these leaves touching directly the trunk of a tree, especially because think about what you see in nature. In nature, when the leaves fall, they fall and they make like a beautiful carpet around the tree, but they're not, as many people see that you see them raking all the leaves and just making a huge mountain directly attached to the tree, which is crazy. because that's not what you see in nature. You want to always follow the beautiful guidelines of God, follow the guidance of what you see in nature. So when the leaves fall, as we're saying, you have this beautiful carpet falling, and it's going to be around then the base of the tree, but they're not touching directly, a whole mountain of them directly touching then the tree, because that can lead you then to rotting the tree, having a whole bunch of trunk rotting, just getting all really decomposing really bad, right? So then it gets infected and gets also fungi also to the tree or the trunk of the tree, and then you can kill the tree, also get diseases in the tree. So just only for around the tree, which it helps you then to actually then give you then also fertilizing beautiful nutrients into the soil, also helping the tree to grow, and then you also have the benefit of suppressing then the weeds. Now if you have a whole bunch of like grass, like we have a whole bunch of lawn and grass, right? So we don't have to worry that it's going to be affecting the growth of the grasses, because the leaves, it's very windy in here, and the leaves blow and they stay attached directly to where we want it. Or if I see that I have too much leaf in one spot that I don't want it to suppress the grass, then you just rake it and put it directly into the area that you want, so that you don't suppress that area. But if you have too many leaves falling directly on top of the grass, and then you haven't removed it from that area and just translocated it to another area that can be used as a natural fertilizer and whatever, then the issue that you can have is that the grass, it can be suppressed, and you can have little tiny patches around the garden, right, and around your lawn. So then that's when many people do the cutting of the leaves into tiny little pieces. And so that's like worst case scenario, that you cannot do anything else, and just then, cut in tiny little pieces with whatever machine, and then just put it back again into the soil and just leave it, in the soil, in the grass. And because it's so tiny, it's not going to suppress the growth of your grasses. And you get the benefit of actually enjoying all the benefits of the leaves, because it's going to be breaking even faster, and it's going to go again all the nutrients into the soil. So you're not losing the benefits of the leaves as a form of decomposing and also fertilizer. But you definitely lose a lot of that biodiversity, because by breaking down all those leaves, now you don't have actually homes for your little animals I mentioned before. So there is, that little 50-50. So for me, I don't have to worry about that. I can just let them be, and we get to actually enjoy the biodiversity. We have the number 5, which is that it reduces the carbon emission. Now that goes back again, because we're helping the environment, because we see that there's a lot of people and places that they recommend you to just bag the leaves. And now in fall, everybody's like, oh yeah, let's take all the leaves and bag them. No, don't do that. Many places, they take the leaves, and they're not going to be using them to compost them and using it as a natural fertilizer then for helping the soil and building soil. What you're doing is taking then, majority of places, they're taking then the bags of leaves and then throwing them into landfills. So if it goes into a landfill, what it's going to do is going to be mix it up with other, bags of trash and all kinds of other trash that is not organic matter. And now you just created a whole bunch of gases that are going to go into the toxic gases that are going to go now into the ozone cap, and then keep on damaging everything and creating more trash. When at the beginning, it was not even trash to begin with, because it is organic matter that can be decomposed and actually create more soil and help our environment. So here we go, when you don't have to even buy soil. And then number 6 is it increases the biodiversity, which I have been mentioning this a lot. So the benefit is, at the end of the day, when it gets then to be spring and summer, and it keeps on going on, then you get to enjoy all these beautiful animals, right? So when it comes then spring and whatever, you see that there's many people that are like going crazy trying to bring then flowers and trees that can actually then bring some pollinators into their garden. And you don't have to worry about that, because all the pollinators are just gonna bloom and grow, because you have been giving them a whole bunch of beautiful houses in your backyard. Plus you're increasing that life cycle. So now that you have a whole bunch of different birds and biodiversity of birds that now are coming, because there's so much food now around your yard and your garden, then you might have even new species of plants growing that you didn't even know, which has happened to us a lot. And you are not even planting them there. It's just that, of course, the birds and the squirrels and whatever, they eat something, they poop, and then now you have those, in their feces, now you have those new seeds that you didn't even have, that they're getting from other places, and now you end up having a new seed growing in your yard, which is amazing. And plus, you might end up having even more plants and more growth of like duplication or propagation of plants, because when you have plants, of course, seeds fall in the garden, blah, 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 in the yard. But now because you have a free mulch that is growing around this seed, you are actually creating the perfect environment for that seed to grow. And then you end up having a whole bunch of beautiful things growing, which is amazing. Okay, anyways, we got excited about that. Then you had that free mulch, which we talk about the free mulch. I'm not going to even talk about that. And then we have number 8, we had the free compost, which again, that's another thing that you can do. You can just take a whole bunch of the leaves and just gather them together, put them in a corner, just cover them with a tarp or something. In my case, I have done it before and not covered them at all. Just mixed them with other organic matter like grasses or branches or plants that I have been, taking out that I'm not going to be using again, weeds or anything like that. Put it all together in a mountain, in a corner, and just move it every now and then. And then I get to have free soil, which is that free mulch. It's amazing. This is free money. We have the number 9, which is going to be that keeps the plants insulated. So you're protecting also the plants during the winter and also with the change in the weather. So when the weather is changing, that it goes then from cold to hot, or it's gonna be super windy, or one day, it might not rain for the whole week or whatever. So you're keeping still that beautiful, evenness of the soil, because the soil is able to maintain that moisture, and you're able then to protect the plant from the difference and harsh of the environment. So yes, it's amazing. Again, free money. And then we have the number 10, which is that you're saving a lot of money. I mean, when you buy a house, they tell you, and I have a video about how much money, like thousands of money that we save because of all the things and tips that we do in our yard. So I'm going to just put it in the description down below, and I'm going to attach it also over here. Because yes, we do end up saving. We do so many things that we save money, but this is also one of them, because when you think about it, they tell you to have fertilizer, to buy fertilizer, to buy then a compost, to buy mulch, to do a weed suppressor, to buy it for weed suppressor, to also cut then the leaves, to have a leaf blower, all kinds of stuff. And at the end of the day, it's like, why do you need all of this stuff when everything that we just mentioned before is actually saving money and giving you all the things that they tell you to do? You have the free fertilizer, you have the free compost, you have the free mulch, you have the free weed suppressor, you have everything that we just mentioned before, and you're saving time, you're saving money, and you're actually helping your home, your community, and the environment as a whole. It's amazing. Okay, and then number extra is gonna be then that it looks beautiful. I love the leaves, how beautiful and whimsical it looks. And on top of that, number 12, it's fun. It's fun because you get to enjoy the beauty of the environment around you. Many kids love to play with it, and you get to do your whole photo shooting or whatever you want to do with it. So it is beautiful to just be in sync with what nature is providing you. It's beautiful to just be in sync with what nature is providing you, which is the blessing that God is providing you. So don't go into removing all the beautiful leaves that you have around you. Just let them be. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I know that I did so much. I love the beautiful nature around us, and I love this time of fall and the beautiful changes that it has. If you love this channel, if you love the video, then go ahead and subscribe to our channel. This is a lifestyle channel where we share every Tuesday something new. We have videos from decor, do-it-yourself, gardening, home remedies, recipes, do it yourself, lots of cat videos, higgy cozy days, you name it, we have in here something for everybody. And in between the days, we on the week, we always share short videos and lots of different content. So there's a whole bunch of exciting things to watch over here. So go ahead and subscribe to our channel. It's totally free. And go ahead and like, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you again next Tuesday.